The city woke before the sun had learned its name. Concrete breathing softly, dreaming neon dreams. In narrow rooms where mirrors leaned against the walls, hope stretched its limbs and practiced how to stand. Before applause, before the lights knew how to burn, there were footsteps echoing down empty halls. A building humming with ambition and doubt. Where futures lined up, trembling, waiting to be chosen. This was a place where ordinary hearts arrived, with extraordinary weight pressed upon their chests. Where talent was currency and time the cruel tax. And every breath whispered, "Prove it, prove it, prove it." They came with voices cracked from midnight practice, with fingers stiff from chasing perfect chords, with shoes worn thin by dancing on borrowed floors, each carrying a dream folded carefully inside. Some had known music since childhood's dawn, raised on lullabies and promises kept. Others arrived late, unexpected, unsure, stumbling into rhythm as if by fate's design. The halls did not care where they came from. They only asked one question, sharp and fair. Can you endure the road you are about to walk? The mirrors answered honestly. The floors remembered every fall. And the walls absorbed the tears like rain. Morning began with discipline. Evening ended with exhaustion. And night stretched long with fear and hope. Fighting quietly beneath the same blanket. They learned quickly that talent was only the spark. Not the fire that carried them through winter. The fire came from repetition. From failing loudly and returning quietly the next day. Some voices soared like birds discovering wind. Others cracked, healed, and cracked again. Some bodies learned the language of movement easily. Others translated pain into persistence. They competed, yes, but they also watched each other bleed. They envied, yes, but they also learned to admire. Because in the quiet moments between schedules, they recognized themselves in one another's struggle. Friendships formed in vending machine light, over shared snacks and shared despair. Rivalry sharpened during evaluations, yet softened when someone cried alone in practice rooms. They were not stars yet. They were constellations still being mapped. Teachers arrived like storms and anchors alike. Some gentle, some unforgiving, all demanding truth. Sing with your life, they said. Dance with your scars, they said. Or do not stand here at all. Criticism struck hard. Praise struck harder. Because praise carried expectation. And expectation carried fear of loss. They learned that dreams are fragile when spoken aloud, yet unbearable when left unspoken. And so they sang anyway. They danced anyway. They risked humiliation in pursuit of flight. There were days when quitting felt sensible. When returning home seemed kinder than continuing. Days when numbers replaced names. When rankings cut deeper than words ever could. But still, the music returned. It always returned. It arrived in late-night melodies hummed under breath. In rhythms tapped unconsciously on desk corners. In lyrics scribbled in margins of textbooks, reminding them why they came in the first place. Some carried the weight of families behind them. Sacrifices unpaid and hopes piled high. Others carried only themselves, which somehow felt heavier. Mistakes became teachers. Failures became familiar. And success, brief and blinding, taught them how easily it could vanish. Auditions came like gates swinging open and shut. Judged by seconds, decided by instinct. Some passed through with stunned smiles. Others watched doors close without explanation. Not everyone would make it. The building knew this. The students knew this. Yet still, they lined up each morning, choosing belief over probability. The closer they drew to debut, the louder the silence became. Because debut was not an ending. It was a beginning that could break them. They rehearsed as if the world were listening. Even when the room was empty. They polished imperfections until exhaustion blurred vision, chasing a standard that kept moving just ahead. And then, the stage. Lights rose like a held breath released. Music surged forward, unapologetic and alive. Feet moved, voices lifted, hearts thundered. For a moment, doubt disappeared. For a moment, they were exactly who they dreamed of being. The audience did not see the years compressed into minutes. The nights swallowed whole by practice. The friendships tested and reforged. They only saw brilliance. But brilliance is never born clean. It is forged. Fame arrived unevenly, with cheers and scrutiny tangled together. Every smile was examined. Every misstep magnified. Success demanded more than talent now. It demanded resilience. Loneliness crept in between schedules. In hotel rooms far from home, applause faded quickly, leaving silence that asked uncomfortable questions. Who are you when the music stops? Some stumbled. Some broke. Some nearly disappeared beneath expectations' weight. Yet those who endured learned a different rhythm. One that balanced ambition with mercy, performance with humanity, dreams with the right to rest. They learned that perfection was an illusion, but sincerity was magnetic. That voices cracked, but hearts carried farther. That growth was the real measure of success. And slowly, almost without noticing, they became what they once admired. Not flawless idols, but living proof that effort matters. That beginnings do not dictate endings. That belief, once ignited, can outlast fear. The school remained standing, its halls still echoing with new footsteps, new voices trembling at the threshold of possibility. And those who walked its corridors before carried its lessons into wider worlds, knowing now that dreams do not come true once. They come true every time you refuse to quit. Because the dream was never just the stage. It was the courage to step onto it. And somewhere, beneath city lights and open skies, the music continues, waiting for the next heart brave enough to answer its call.